if everybody say it can't get done, I'm like, yes it can, why not? I said, if these kids can't read, then I'm not gonna promote all this, mom, dad, I'm gonna look you in your face and say this kid can't read. We let them down. School, parents, we let them down, but I'm not gonna take them to the next grade knowing that they're not at grade level. It's funny because I'm always like, okay, how are schools successful? Well, schools are successful when they demand greatness. Greatness doesn't come. We're about to make history. We're about to learn. We're about to grow. We're about to make history. And then, mark my words, it's going to be other school districts, other places around it that's going to be doing this thing. We're going to be the first model. And I'm speaking that into existence, okay?
For booking, please visit shurtschoolturnaroundspecialist.com.
If you can really take the map and drive the instructor inside the classroom and link it to the M step, then everything will move. You see it?
Ladies, third grade teachers, could you tell me, how do you think this professional development was for you today?
Easy. It was productive. It was exciting.
We will never leave Mr. Hurt advising.
Because the schools that I've worked with, the teachers I've worked with, their scores just go through the roof because what I do is I talk about practical stuff that's practical. Because I'm a former teacher and also I'm a principal, so I'm gonna be telling you guys things that I know will work in your classroom.
For booking, please visit shurtschoolturnaroundspecialist.com.
Good morning. This is Mr. Hurt with your Saturday morning podcast. And come on in and hit that share button. This morning, we got another powerful podcast. We're going to talk about your first office as a principal should be the classroom. So come on in, hit that share button, and let me know where you're coming from. I have my good friend, Dr. Jeter, coming from Illinois. Good morning to you. I just thank you for all of your support. Thank you for all of your support over the months. Good morning. I have Ms. Nesbitt. Good morning to you. Good morning. I have Ms. Key. Good morning. Come on in, hit that share. But I want every educator. If you are an educator, a principal, teacher, you must tune into this. I have these strategies, these tips that I must share. So give me like 1 minute as I get all of my Facebook, LinkedIn, and Twitter people on. So give me 1 minute. I'm working a whole bunch of computers, so just stay with me as I get all of my friends on. This is going to be exciting. And I need you to go ahead and hit that share button, but also make sure you bring your notes. You're going to have notes on this one because I'm sharing some really important information. So stay with me for just 1 more minute as I get all my people to come in. I cannot wait. We're talking about principals, assistant principals. Even if you are in the process of becoming one, you say, "Hurt, I'm about to become one." Yes, you need to be on this podcast. You know what I do. You know how I like to do it, because my whole mission in life, my whole vision is to make sure that we are transforming schools all around the world. So I need everyone to hear this information, to get this information, to get this. All right. Make sure I got everybody in. Just give me about 31 seconds. I got all of my Facebook folks in. So I got all my my LinkedIn people. Yes. This is going to be exciting on this morning. All right. And then now let me go ahead to my Twitter folks. I want to make sure all my Twitter folks are ready to go. So just stay with me for a few more seconds. I want to make sure all my Twitter folks are locked and loaded. All right. Okay. Make sure all my Twitter people are locked and loaded. So send direct message. All right. We are going to be ready to go. We're going to be ready to go. All right, I think we're good. Okay, all right, all right. So go ahead. Once again, I want to say good morning to everybody. I see I got my good friend Miss April Turner. We got to connect. We got to connect soon. We got to connect soon. So good morning to you, Miss April Turner. Good morning, Miss Nesbitt. My hometown, Detroit in the house. And I just got to say, I went to visit her school a couple of months ago, and it was on jam, on fire. So big ups to my good friend Miss Nesbitt. Good morning to you. I got Miss September in the house. Good morning to you. Good morning to you. Good morning to you. All right, let's go ahead and get started because I want to make sure I use my time wisely. This morning, we're going to talk about your first office as a principal should be the classroom, okay? And the reason why I'm gonna deal with this is because I know as a principal for 16 years, I got this about my fourth year as a principal, and it changed my life. It changed my life. Once again, I always talk about my student achievement was some of the highest in the state of Michigan. Our district scores went through the roof. Our state scores went through the roof because I was in the classroom, and I've been preaching this for the last 7 years. You and your leadership team must spend at least 60% of your day in the classroom. You say, Herb, how does that look? How do we do that? I have put it on my Facebook post many times, but I am telling you, you and your leadership team must spend 60% of your time in the classroom, okay? So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to talk about some of the things that you will see when you're in the classroom. But let me go over a few housekeeping notes before we jump in it, okay? Housekeeping note number one is that I will be in West Virginia next week. So I will be with Principal Spencer. So, hey, we ready to go. I'll be in West Virginia, so I cannot wait to spend a whole day with Principal Spencer and her team going into the classroom. I will be observing classroom and giving feedback to Principal Spencer and her leadership team on how that classroom structure looks like. So I can't wait to go in there. And then the following week, I will be in Georgia. I will be in Georgia at Hope Academy, my part 2 visit. So I'm going to Georgia at Hope Academy, and I'll be doing the same thing, going into the classrooms. And the reason why I do that is because I want to give principals and leadership teams a different perspective. It's not I got you, but how we get better is that to be able to go in those classrooms, I'm going to talk about it, and be able to look at that instruction and give that good feedback to the teachers. Good feedback is not a thing where you're doing good or bad, but how can we improve or how can we get more tools in our tool belt? So I'm excited regarding that. Also, I want to just want to encourage all of my schools that I'm working with. State assessment is starting next week on Monday. So I just want to encourage all of my schools in Florida, in Georgia, South Carolina, Arkansas, Arizona, Michigan, Ohio, all of these states I'm working with. Your state assessment is starting up. Remember all of the strategies that we talked about. Remember how we need to make sure those testing environment is good. Remember how we want to engage the parents. Remember how we want to engage those students. It is time. I cannot wait to the end of the year to give testimonies about all of the schools that I've been working with. Not only schools that I've been working with, but all of my educators that is on my platform as we talk about, making sure that they ready to go and giving those testimonies. Remember, your school you're going to be looking at 2 things. You're going to be looking at growth and proficiency. Before you start to take that state assessment, you need to have your goals. We talked about it. Your goals should be ready to go. Everybody should know the goals, your proficiency goals and your growth goals. And just go ahead, encourage those students. As the principal, you are the instructional leader. It starts with you. Put those strategies in place. Talk to those kids every morning. Hype them up. If 7th grade is going to be taking the test on Monday, before they go in there, get on the morning announcements. Get on your morning announcements and give 2 or 3 minutes of a pep speech. Hey, come on, kids, we can do it. Hype up your school. Make sure every day during your state assessment that you take 1 minute to 2 minutes to hype up the school. Get the schools ready to go. Okay. And the last thing is that if you would like for me to come out for the upcoming school year to do professional development, inbox me. I'm only accepting 4 more schools. I have 12 schools in my portfolio. I am only accepting 4 more schools for the upcoming school year. So make sure you inbox me. We'll sit down and talk about it. I am doing face-to-face and virtual. My whole mission in life, this is my mission in life. And I'm going to go to my program. My whole mission in life is I just want to transform schools. That's why I am doing the work that I'm doing. I need schools all around the world, whether it's rural, inner city, suburbia. I want you to be transformed. I am sick and tired of the narrative of these kids cannot learn. I am sick and tired of seeing schools get these low test scores and grades and things of that nature. I know for a fact that the strategies that I'm giving, that we're talking about, that we're looking at, will transform your schools. I do not want to see another principal on my platform saying that they can't do it. You can do it. You can do it. You just need best practices and strategies. And like I said, I'm not trying to, I can only speak the truth. I have transformed 3 schools at the high school level, middle school level, and elementary level. That's why I am doing the work. I'm not going to tell you things that I did not do. I'm going to tell you things that will work, that has been proven the test of time, that I have done, or not even myself, but other schools that I've been working with that have done, that have seen proficiency go through the roof, that have seen growth go through the roof. So that's the work that I'm doing. All right. So let's go ahead and get started. And once again, I thank everybody. Now we're going to go ahead and jump in it. I need you to get pencil and paper out. Get pencil and paper out. Got my notes. I'm ready to go. And you say, okay, the title, what we're going to talk about, your first office as a principal should be the classroom. If you are a building principal, if you are an assistant principal, if you are a coach, your first office should be the classroom, not your office, not in your office. You cannot lead a school being in your office. I know you have to talk to parents. I've done that. I know you got to email. I know you got to get on the phone. I know all of that. But the first thing that I am telling educators out there, if you really want to move your school, I'm talking about transforming your school. I'm talking about being a school like other schools. No, you want to be the best school in your district. You want to be the best school in your state. How do you become the best? We're not talking about the forefront. We're talking about the best. The best. Go ahead and put in the chat. If you want to have the best school, in your district or in your state, put it in the chat. Say, yes, Mr. Hurt, I want to have the best school. Put it in the chat now. I want to see who's bold enough to say, I am going to have the best school. Put it in the chat now. I want people to put it in the chat. I see my LinkedIn people is putting it inside the chat. You're saying, Mr. Hurt, I want to have this. Put it in the chat now before I jump in it, because I don't want you to be on here and you don't want to have the best. That's the first thing I had to realize. I said, I want to have the best school in Michigan. Even though at the time it was not the best, but I said, I'm going to have the best. And we put things in place to make sure that we was moving toward a great school. The first thing that we talked about is that I said, I want to spend 60% or more of my time in the classroom. Not only me, but also my assistant principal. My assistant principals was Ms. Stevens, Mr. Townsend. My coaches, I had coaches too. It was Mr. Jackson. It was Miss Clark. These are people who worked with me. We spent 60% of the time in the classroom. Write it down. What I had to do is I had to restructure my day. I had to make sure that those fights and all of those issues, we had to have systems in place to deal with it. I'm not going to talk about it, but we put systems in place to deal with it, okay? Now, as we started to spend time in the classroom, these are some of the 7 things that we saw. These are the 7 things that we saw, okay? And I'm going to go slow. Yes, Miss Turner. I want Miss Turner. You know how I feel about you and your school, Miss Turner. We going to Arkansas. Miss Turner will have the best school. I'm telling you. We are working toward that. I'm telling you, I cannot sleep at night thinking about how Miss Turner's school is going to the next level. That's how much I care about that school. I know Miss Turner is one of the best principals in Arkansas. So we're about to move that school. So number one, when I'm spending my time in the classroom, the first thing that I will see is the level of instruction. Write it down. When I was a principal, when I went into the classroom, I was able to observe and look at the level of instructions from all of my teachers. And I didn't just go to the teacher's classroom say at 8:30 morning. I was in there at different times to see the level of instruction. A lot of times when we're in meetings or when we're talking to teachers, teachers will look at us like, I haven't seen you in my classroom in 2 or 3 weeks or months or whatever it may be. So how can you share or talk about instruction with me when you're not even in a classroom to look at it? And I am not talking about coming in there to observe. That's a whole different thing. I'm talking about going into the classroom and just looking at the level of instruction. You can spend about 5 or 6 minutes just going in there, sitting in the back, and just looking at it. Okay, how are the kids engaged? Okay, what type of level of instruction is taking place in the classroom? And we're not talking about looking at teachers who are not doing a good job. We're talking about looking at some of your superstar teachers, because what you do is that you can look at some of your superstar teachers and say, you know what? These 3 or 4 things these teachers are doing, I need to share it out with the other teachers in my building. We call it best practices. How can you share out best practices for instruction if you and your team is not in there? I was able to take my level of conversation, my PLCs, my data meetings to a whole nother level because I was in the classroom looking, smelling, seeing the instruction and hearing the instruction that was taking place. The first thing is that you will see the level of instruction that is taking place. Man, I'm pumped up now. Come on now. Come on now. We're about to go to this next level. Number 2, what else do I see when I'm spending 60% of my time in the classroom? How to better support the teachers. How to better support the teachers. How do you support the teachers once again when you're not in the classroom? When I am in the classroom, when Dr. Houston is in the classroom, when Principal Kafele is in the classroom, Dr. Tammy Teller is in the classroom, Dr. Jeter, all of these superstar educators, they will be able to tell you that when they are in the classroom, you can better support the teachers, and the teachers will be able to come to you and have those in-depth conversations. So now you're not in there guessing. You can be able to sit side to side with your teacher and be able to say, you know what? I see where I got to help you out with. I see you might need more technology. I see that Raheem and Susie Smith is having some problems. I see it. So now I'm going to support you even more. A lot of times teachers will come to you and say, you know what? I want to be supported, but how can you support me when you're not even looking at what I need support with? I'm going to say this again. Teachers are asking, hey, listen, I want my principal to support, but how can they support me when they don't know what I need help with? As a principal, as an instructional leader, as an assistant superintendent, whatever title you have, if I'm in the classroom looking at it, then when I leave out, I have my notes and I'm like, okay, I got to get Miss Kennedy, one of my kindergarten teachers, some more whiteboards. I see she needs whiteboards because the check for understanding, she's doing a good job, but we got to order her some more whiteboards. Oh, I see my 8th grade teacher, Miss Thomas, she needs some more technology because she's doing some really good stuff, but we got to give her more technology. Oh, I see my tier 2 instruction in Mr. Smith class. I got to support him with that tier 2. Where is my parapros? Where is my such and such? They're supposed to be in there to help support Mr. Thompson with that tier 2 instruction. You see, if I'm in a classroom, I see it, I can better support the teachers. Man, All right, I'm gonna slow down. People are commenting. Go ahead and hit them comments. We are sharing. We are sharing. We are sharing. I'm not trying to go fast no more. I want schools to be transformed. You will get transformed. These are called best practices. If you're doing something and you're not getting the results, switch it up. If you just put these things in place, you will see better results at the end of the day. Number three, and this is not in any order. Spending time in the classroom helps me to support students and advocate for their social and emotional needs. And not just students, but also teachers. I'm bringing all that together. Students and teachers. You can be able to advocate for their social and emotional needs. A couple of weeks ago, I put in a post, how do we help teachers not to run out of gas? Well, one thing that you can do is that if I'm in a classroom, I can see if the teacher is tired. I can kind of gauge, we call it the climate and culture of the school. I can help my students. I can help my teachers. I can do all those things because now I'm in a classroom. I can help their social and emotional needs. Sometimes you might be in the classroom and you see Raheem having a bad day. The teacher is trying to get through that classroom. It's been many times I would take Raheem out of the classroom and he would spend 15 to 20 minutes with me walking in the hall as the principal because I knew that that teacher needed that break. I was able to support her emotional needs. No, I did not suspend Raheem. I did not call the parents and all that, but Raheem needed a break. Teacher needed a break. I'm there. I'm about to give that teacher a break and also the student a break. Also, sometimes, like on a Friday, if we going hard for 4 days in a row, Friday, all right, I can set the climate and say, okay, in the afternoon, we're gonna have some fun stuff. I'm gonna go ahead as a principal, go to the store, go around to the classroom, and drop off little treats for the teachers. All right. We're going to have our PBIS, which was big in my school. We're going to have we created a PBIS room with video games, arcades, all the stuff kids like. This is a room, a classroom. And then we would have the kids go in there in the afternoon on Friday. They would get tickets, cash them out, and they would be able to play the Xbox. They would get the games and things of that nature. I wanted to support the emotional and social needs of my teachers and my students. And the only way I was able to do that is because I was in the classroom looking at it, monitoring. Yes, yes, this is good. I see people. Yes, yes, yes. Please comment. I don't. Please comment because once again, I want schools to get better. I want schools to get better. I see Miss Matthews is commenting and Miss Pugh. All these people. I'm looking around. Mr. Ali. I got people from California. I got people from South Africa on here. Yes, we got so many people on here. We're not just talking about the United States. We're talking all over the country. This helps everybody all over the country. This is the work I am doing with schools. I'm so passionate about this. This is why the schools that I'm working with, they're moving in the right direction. I'm not saying look at your budget and spend $1 million on this or do this. We're talking about just doing little tweaks like this will help your school. I know that you're tired of going to work on Monday and you're like, man, it's a lose-lose. I'm going to have 15, 20 kids in the office by 12 o'clock. Teacher X is going to quit. Teacher Y is going to quit. They got all this stuff. No, let's restructure. It's not too late. You can go on Monday and say, this is what we're going to do. Okay? All right, number 4. Man, I got 8 more minutes. Time is flying. Number 4. When you are spending time in the classroom, you are able to allocate resources for the school. Let me be honest with you. Spending money on the right things. Allocate resources for the school. You are spending money. You're spending your money for Title I, Title II, 31A, your ESSER money. These are your budget items. You are the principal. You have say so. You have to turn it into the district, but you are spending money the right way. A lot of times we'll have $500,000 of Title I, Title II, ESSER, and all that, and we just spend it to spend it. And in the following year, all resources that we spend money on is sitting in the corner collecting dust because we spent it, and we did not allocate our resources the right way because we did not know what we needed at the school because we're not in the classrooms to be able to help support the teachers. I'm telling principals all over the world, how you allocate your resources correctly, spend it on the teachers, train the teachers to get better. There's nothing wrong with getting programs, nothing wrong with getting all of these computers. There's nothing wrong with that. But at the end of the day, you're going to get the biggest bang for your buck when you equip the teachers to get better. Give them training, whether it's me, whether it's Dr. Taylor, Principal Kafele, whoever, the Fantastic Four, Brother Tarver, whoever it is, you bring these experts in to train your principals and your leadership team, and now they become trainers of your teachers. You train your teachers to be able to get more tools in their tool belt. The computer, the iPhone auto, those are good things, but they cannot teach students. You are going to get the biggest bang for your buck when you train your teachers and your leadership team on best practices. Man, real simple to me. And you don't need a lot of money. You don't need a lot of money. Whatever your resources say, spend it on training. The other part, now I'm in my principal hat now. Now I'm in my principal hat. The other part is that you also want to have money set aside for after school tutoring for about, I would say about 4 or 5 months leading up to your state assessment. You will have after school tutoring at least twice a week for 1 hour, Tuesday, Wednesday, or two to three times a week for 1 hour, and focus on one subject area. Okay. And then also with that, you also want to have money set aside for your summer programming. So those are the three things that I would say if you have $5, you need to spend $5 on those three things. Okay. They will give you the biggest bang for your buck. But in my opinion, I've been doing this for 24 years. You will be able to move the academic needle when you train your teachers. Train your teachers. You have some first-year teachers that need a different type of training. Teachers been doing it for many years. Adventure teachers, they need different type of training in your leadership. But once you start to train those teachers, you will see the academic achievement move to the next level. All right. Next one. Number 5, when you're in the classroom, your presence in the classroom will have a positive impact on the behavior of the students. You and your leadership team spending time in the classroom will have a positive impact on the behavior of your students. Your students will not try to get away with murder. Your teachers will be loving it because now you're in there, you see it. When I started to spend time in my classroom, follow me very closely, my suspensions went down dramatically. Kids going down to the office went down dramatically. The teachers climbing the culture felt better because they saw me being proactive. We got radios and I'm in the classroom. So when I see Raheem or somebody, once again, acting up, misbehaving, hey, I'm right there. So I'm just turning around and I'm having a conversation with Raheem. So what we did was that me and my leadership team, we strategically spent our time in classrooms with teachers who might have been first-year teachers, might have needed some help on classroom management. We was there to help support that teacher. So it's like coaching. So imagine like on a football field or a basketball field, you got the coach in the game telling the quarterback what play to run, telling the quarterback how to go this, how to go that, telling the point guard, okay, set the screen. When I'm in a classroom, I'm in there. So now I want that reading lesson to go good. I'm in there making sure I'm sitting or I'm in the area with some of the kids that I know that have a lot of energy, but I'm in there helping that teacher. So I know that if once again the kid kind of is ready to whatever, I'm right there. My AP is in there. Everybody is in there monitoring what's taking place. The teachers loved it. When you are in the classroom, it has a positive impact on the behavior of the students. when that bell ring, hey, I'm in the mix. I'm making sure kids are in the hallway, going to the lockers. We going to class. I'm in there. All right, kids, let's get to class now. Come on, hurry up. Got 30 seconds. All right, cool. And then now I have my folder, my notes, and now I'm about to go to Miss Thompson's class down there because some of my heavy hitters are going to be in that class. So if I know my heavy hitters in there, I'm going to be in there making sure everything is fine. Yes, the principal right there. The principal right there. Yes, I'm going to deal with it. I'm going to be getting my hands and elbows dirty, just like the teachers. So once again, if things even go a little bit, whatever, I'm right there to address it. When you are in the classroom, your presence will have a positive impact on behavior of the student. So I'm gonna stop right there. We're gonna do a part 2 next week because I didn't get through all of. I got so much more information to go, but it's going on 10:30. So once again, the first office as a principal is in the classroom. I need everybody to make sure that they go to Create and Educate at 10:30 and Principal Fele at 11 and Josh Tarver tomorrow at 7 o'clock. We're at a Fantastic Four. If you need me to come in to help support your school, now don't wait. Inbox me. I got an inbox this morning from a principal who's starting up a new school. Inbox me so we can sit down and have that conversation. I don't want anybody to say my school is not moving in the right direction. You know the work that I do. I'm here to transform schools, whether it's the data, the iReady, NWA, make sure whether it's training principals or training leadership teams, going to the classrooms, this is the work I'm doing. So thank you very much. I will see everybody next Saturday, same time, same place. We're doing part 2. Bring a friend. I want you to bring a friend. Go to school on Monday, say, hey, you got to come on and listen to what he has to say because it's good information. Thank you. I love you. See you next Saturday. Let's have a blessed week. Take care. And remember, be the school. Be the school that you want your school to become. Take care.